Did you know that Finland needs thousands of more nurses in the near future? If you're a nurse, this is your chance to hear more details and facts about the qualification process to work in Finland. The National Supervisory Authority for Welfare and Health in Finland is called Valvira. Welcome Valviras Health, Rights and Product Safety Department's Senior Officer Emmi Liimatta.
Thank you.
Emma, before a nurse can start to work in Finland, it's always mandatory to get a qualification first from Valvira.
Yes, it is not possible to work as a nurse in Finland without the right to practice.
Why is it so important to ensure that the qualifications and the experience of the nurses meet the Finnish standards?
Well, first of all, it's not only important, but it's required by the law. So the law is setting the boundaries for working within the healthcare, so it applies also for nurses.
So does a nurse have to start the registration process before arriving to Finland?
No, it is not mandatory. You can start the process when you have arrived to Finland or before. You can choose.
An important question is also what are the costs of these qualification certificates?
Yes, so basically there are three different fees during the process. The first fee is between 200 and 600 euros, and it is regarding the expert opinion that Valvira has to ask from Finnish University of Applied Sciences. Then the second fee would be the decision fee regarding the additional studies, and the fee is 300 euros for that decision. And then the third fee is the last one, 500 euros, is the legalization decision. So there are 200 between 600, 300 and 500.
So let's talk a little bit about the language proficiency. Finnish and Swedish are the official languages of Finland. And one of these language skills is crucial for effective patient care. Emma, what level of Finnish language is required for the nurse qualification?
Yes, so the applicant should always prove their language skills in Finnish or Swedish, and you can do that by sending a certificate. For example, one certificate that is called YKI-test, and you should have the level 3 to 4. It's if we think about the European context, it would be the B1, B2 level. Then there are also other certificates that you can find on Valvira's webpage, and also one more possibility is to having a statement from your employer, so that your employer is evaluating your language skills.
So how are the language skills actually tested before admitting the nurse permission?
Yes, so it's always the document, certificate that we require. So Valvira is not arranging any kind of interviews or tests, but we always require document proving your language skills.
Yes. Remember also that if you are not an EU or EEA citizen, you need a residence and work permit. Check out the application process from migri.fi pages, which are the Finnish immigration services pages. Next, let's talk more about the documents and the processing time. What kind of documents a nurse needs to send to Valvira?
Well, the list, it is a long list, so please be careful that you read the instructions that we have, because we require, for example, ID, so that should be a passport or alien's passport or refugee travel document, degree certificate and contact details for your university. Also, if you have diploma supplement or other transcripts regarding your diploma, also a certificate verifying that you have the right to practice in your country, a certificate of language proficiency, and also a consent stating that Valvira has your permission to submit your application documents to a Finnish educational institution.
And also the translations must be in Finnish, Swedish or English so that all the documents are produced by an authorized translator in Finland or in another EU member state, or otherwise the translator status must be confirmed with an apostille or grand legalization.
Exactly. So it's really, really important that you go through our instructions carefully, and you can always contact us if there's something that you do not understand.
So Emma, does all nurses need to have a permanent work contract before getting qualified?
Valvira does not require any working contract, so you can apply without having a work contract in Finland.
What about the processing time, the time of the whole process, how long it takes?
Yes, so basically it is at least 4 months, but I could give you an example.
Yes.
So once we receive your application, within 2 months of that date, we will contact you if there are any missing documents. So let's say there are missing documents and you require 3 months to send all those documents to us. So now it's been already 5 months. After we have received those documents, we of course evaluate them, and if we have already received the verification of your diploma from your university, or you have legalized your diploma with apostille or grant legalization, we can move on to the next step. That would be the expert opinion from the Finnish University of Applied Sciences. And until we receive the expert opinion, it will be around 2 months. And of course, we are evaluating the expert opinion, and after that, we will send you a letter with the expert opinion. So now it would be around 7 months. And after that, you have few weeks time to answer, so 8 months at this point. And then, of course, it would be the decision regarding additional studies, if that would be that your degree is same as we have in Finland and it is leading to a nurse degree, but you have to complete additional studies because usually there are always something missing when we compare your degree to the Finnish one. So you could receive the decision regarding additional studies within 10 months, 1 year, depending how much time it takes to you to get all the documents that we require. And after receiving the decision from us, you have to start studying those additional studies. And it might take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, depending on your language skills and depending on your possibility to start the studies.
So there are quite many steps, but if you are EU citizen, so then the process is not so long.
Yes, exactly. So, and the most important thing is if you have the degree from an EU country, so then the process is a bit different, and you find all the instructions on Valvira's webpage.
So is there an exam being made for those nurses who come from outside EU?
Valvira does not arrange any exams, but as I mentioned before, it is the additional studies that you have to complete. And once you receive the decision from us regarding the additional studies, you yourself, you have to contact the Finnish University of Applied Sciences to find out how you can study those courses and practicals we require. And after completing those additional studies, you have to send certificate of those studies and an application to Valvira, and then it is possible to receive the right to practice as a nurse in Finland.
Well, once the application is approved, you can finally start to work. How many foreign nurses are admitted to certification per year?
Yes, well, last year, 2022, there were 23 nurses when it comes to the nurses who have qualified outside the EU. But now this year, it seems that we will have more than 23.
So is the certificate permanent once a nurse is registered?
Yes, it is permanent, but it can be restricted or removed.
Next, let's look at the chat questions. Samir asks, hello, how long time before I move to Finland I must send the application to Valvira?
Yes, there's no time limit. So once you have moved to Finland, you can send it right away or 1 year later, because you can start the process even if you don't have the language skills certificate yet, but you can still send the application and the documents.
Then Monica asks, how much is the salary for a nurse in Finland? So that, I think, depends a lot about your expertise, and have you just begun to work? Have you any experience, or have you specialized? So it's anything between 2,000 to 4,000 maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Lena asks, does the employer usually pay for the costs for the process?
Now, of course, I'm not sure, because those who apply, they might have some kind of agreements. But I know that some applicants have asked if it's possible that the employer would pay that. Of course, you can
Yes.
tell your employer that you want them to pay,
Yes.
but we don't know really.
Yes. I have heard that some employers in Finland pay the costs for the whole process. Patricia asks, thanks for the information. Is the qualification process faster for EU citizens?
Well, if you have qualified within the EU, so if your degree is from an EU country, then the process is a bit different and a bit faster as well.
Thank you for all the questions. We will also continue to answer your questions a couple of minutes after this broadcast. Thank you so much, Senior Officer Emmi Liimatta, for visiting us today.
Thank you.
Although it may seem like a long process before you get qualified in Finland, remember that we have great work, free time balance here, long holidays and flexible employers. Also visit valvira.fi for up-to-date information and check out for more important links in the chat. Thanks for watching, and best of luck to you to find a job.